Hello to all fellow Taoists. Welcome back to the 3D animation channel. Today, let's continue watching episode 151. If any Taoists have suggestions after watching the video, please leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more new content. At the end of episode 150, after Xiao Yan accepted Gu Yao's challenge, a fierce battle immediately broke out between the two. In that battle, Gu Yao unleashed his strongest power, yet he still couldn't defeat Xiao Yan. Thus, he had to pay the price. At this moment, after Xiao Yan and Gu Yao's two attacks collided, with a boom, Xiao Yan's attack circle shattered. Seeing this, Suner immediately rushed forward to stop Gu Yao but was unexpectedly blocked by Meng Tianqi. Looking at the young woman, he said, "Wait a moment." No sooner had he finished speaking than in midair, Xiao Yan's hand suddenly produced a dazzling fire lotus, which he threw straight towards Gu Yao's hand. The fire lotus grew massive and slammed into the giant phantom hand in front. Instantly, the phantom hand was pushed back by the fire lotus, gradually cracking. Finally, with a boom, the pointing hand shattered and powerful energy scattered in all directions, shaking the entire sky. At that moment, flames engulfed the entire arena, and even the barrier outside the arena cracked in large sections from the impact. The blinding light slowly faded away after a long time. When the energy dissipated, Xiao Yan, like a flash of lightning, held the fire lotus in his hand and rushed towards Gu Yao to finish off his opponent. At this point, Gu Yao was exhausted and no longer had the strength for a fierce resistance. However, just as Xiao Yan was about to deliver the final blow, a loud voice shouted, "Your Excellency Xiao Yan, please show mercy." As soon as the words finished, Xiao Yan's body seemed to be locked by a terrifying surge of energy, and everything around him seemed to freeze. Immediately after that voice, a mysterious old man tore through the void and appeared. Seeing this person, even the elders of the ancient clan stood up and bowed, saying, "Elder Tong Xian." Hearing this, the old man simply nodded slightly, then his gaze shifted to Xiao Yan. He sighed softly and approached him. The old man seemed to float effortlessly in the air, yet in the blink of an eye, he quietly took the fire lotus from Xiao Yan's hand. Looking at the dazzling, destructive fire lotus in his hand, he merely sighed, rubbed his hand gently, and the fire lotus shattered. Having done so, he waved his hand. Instantly, the seal binding Xiao Yan was removed. Only then did Xiao Yan bow to the old man, saying, "Thank you, elder." The old man then said, "I never expected the Xiao clan to produce such a young genius like you. If Xiao Xian knew, he would be very happy." Finishing his words, he looked towards Gu Yao and said, "Gu Yao, this competition you have lost." Hearing this, Gu Yao's body trembled, and his hands clenched slightly. Seeing him like this, Elder Tong Xian shouted, "Winning is winning, losing is losing. If you don't even have the courage to admit defeat, what right do you have to become the Black Smoke King?" Hearing this, Gu Yao gritted his teeth. A moment later, he took a deep breath, then looked at Xiao Yan with extreme unwillingness and said, "I lost." As soon as his voice faded, silence covered the entire square in the sky. In the eyes of many ancient clan members, there was still an unbelievable look. Especially the likes of Lin Hu and Ling Quan, their eyes were wide with shock. This outcome truly exceeded their expectations. Looking at Xiao Yan in the distance, Gu Zhen reminded his people, "Xiao Yan is no ordinary person. You all know what to do in the future, right?" Hearing this, Lin Hu and the others nodded. As for Gu Zhen, he suddenly chuckled softly and looked towards a distant figure in white robes. Following his gaze, the white-robed figure slowly emerged and chuckled, saying, "Even the annihilation finger failed when unleashed. We underestimated him. If he were at the same level as Gu Yao, it seems that fellow would have been defeated even faster. If he reaches the 8-star Do Zun realm, I fear neither of you will be his match. Don't bother with Suner's matters anymore." Then he added, "Oh, elder brother, aren't you going to use that test? The bloodline barely reached 9th grade. It seems elder brother's bloodline level is about to surpass even Suner's." The other replied, "It's not that easy. Suner's bloodline is the most perfect bloodline of our ancient clan throughout history, understand?" Hearing these words, both of them were stunned, their mouths stuttering in disbelief. And so, the three of them looked back at the arena. There, Elder Tong Xian took a deep breath and looked at the two, saying, "The competition has ended. Xiao Yan, Gu Yao, you may descend." Hearing this, Xiao Yan nodded slightly, cupped his fists towards Elder Tong Xian, and retreated. When Xiao Yan returned to his spot, Elder Tong Xian's voice resounded throughout the area, saying, "The next ritual will be presided over by me." Finishing his words, he looked towards the high platform and said, "Sooner, come." Following Elder Tong Xian's voice, all eyes in the arena focused on the beautiful figure. Hearing this, Sooner nodded slightly. She briefly turned to Xiao Yan, glanced at his injuries, then her body soared and gently landed in the center of the arena. Looking at her, Elder Tong Xian transmitted his voice, "Given your excellence and status in the ancient clan, it's not surprising for this to happen. I hope this will be the last time. He has proven himself with his strength. No one will dare to make things difficult for him again." As he finished speaking, he suddenly closed his eyes and concentrated. At that moment, all eyes around were focused on Sooner. Groups of ancient clan members waited anxiously for Sooner, who was considered the most gifted in the clan, to undergo the test. At this moment, even some of the elders in the clan could only watch as Elder Tong Xian prepared to cast a spell. Instantly, as Elder Tong Xian's hand moved slightly, a star disk appeared. Then, he began to cast the spell. In a flash, the energy from Sooner surpassed 8 points and surged to the 9th point. Seeing this, someone rushed forward and shouted, "9th grade bloodline." Sooner's bloodline power is truly formidable. In the distance, the mysterious white-robed man from before chuckled, saying, "It's not over yet. If it were only 9th grade, those old fellows wouldn't all be gathered here." No sooner had he finished speaking than the 9th point, which seemed to be stopping, suddenly lit up, emitting a tremor that made the area seem to sway. Finally, when the orb stopped, a golden light suddenly shot straight up into the sky. Then, it carried a terrifying, powerful energy that diffused all around. With Sooner as the center, shockwaves continuously erupted, and the entire city seemed to glow, with golden flashes like stars covering the area. At that moment, upon seeing the anomaly that had just erupted, all the ancient clan members were astonished, speechless. A moment later, Elder Tong Xian spoke with a radiant expression, "10th star, perfect bloodline." As soon as his words finished, with Sooner as the center, more than half of the ancient clan members surrounding Xiao Yan and his group knelt down. Seeing this, Mang Tianqi sighed softly, saying, "A perfect bloodline, the ancient clan truly has great fortune." As he finished speaking, at the same time, in the distance, the mysterious male figure chuckled, saying, "Look, do you know how terrifying Sooner is now?" As soon as his words faded, in the far distance, the golden light pillar that had shot straight up into the sky slowly retracted, finally returning into Sooner's body. Seeing the anomaly subside, Elder Tong Xian excitedly whispered, "It truly is a perfect bloodline." Here, he took a deep breath, and his body immediately moved gracefully in the air. A moment later, as his hand moved slightly, a colorful light appeared and transformed into a dragon brush emitting a dazzling glow. Holding it, the old man threw it high into the sky. When the brush fell, Elder Tong Xian immediately caught it. That single action caused the surrounding energy to erupt. Seeing this, Mang Tianqi whispered, "7-colored heavenly emperor brush. The thing the ancient clan hasn't used for thousands of years has finally been taken out." As he finished speaking, in the distance, Elder Tong Xian held the dragon brush in his hand and pointed it towards Sooner. Instantly, he touched the colorful brush to her glabella. At that moment, Sooner seemed to freeze, her body now enveloped by a 7-colored light. Gradually, energy seemed to overflow all around. After a long time, Elder Tong Xian finally withdrew his hand, but Sooner was still quietly absorbing the 7-colored energy radiating from everywhere. And so, her delicate and graceful body floated in midair. After a very long time, Sooner finally opened her eyes, and an extremely intense 7-colored light erupted from her forehead. When the 7-colored light burst forth, many more powerful ancient clan members knelt down due to the oppressive aura emanating from deep within their souls. At this point, deep within the ancient clan space, an old voice shouted, "7-colored clan pattern. After 1,000 years, our ancient clan finally has it appear once more." When that old voice resounded, Elder Tong Xian was slightly startled, then quickly bowed respectfully to someone. As for Xiao Yan, as soon as the ritual ended, he looked at Mang Tianqi with a tired expression and said, let's go. There's nothing else to see in the next rituals." Saying so, he bade farewell to the old man and left the place. Seeing Xiao Yan and the others leave, Suner was a little worried. She turned to Elder Tong Xian and said, "If the ritual is over, then I'll leave first." As soon as she finished speaking, she quickly chased after Xiao Yan. Seeing this, Elder Tong Xian shook his head and said, "It seems even the appearance of a perfect bloodline isn't entirely good. The Xiao clan still benefits." At the same time, in some corner, the figure of Hanyu muttered, "I never thought the ancient clan would produce a perfect bloodline. It seems I must find an opportunity to eliminate this person." And what else will episode 151 hold that's exciting? Follow the 3D animation channel for more details, everyone. Goodbye and see you again.